Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have the iconic classic, Mary Poppins. I can't think of too many other films that are so intrinsically tied to Disney, classic Disney, as Mary Poppins. Um, and if you've seen the movie Saving Mr. Banks, you know how frustrating that may be for Mary Poppins creator P.L. Travers. But that's a whole other story and a whole other review for some other day. But when that pops up in the cycle, we'll see. This is a movie starring Julie Andrews, as you can see right here. She's astounding. She's got this. Honestly, I'm not really telling you something you don't already know if you haven't already seen Mary Poppins. None of this will come as a surprise to you. It's a classic for a reason, and for those of you who haven't seen it, it's about time. It's about time to make that chance. You might have lots of time at home now to experience this. So grab the family or just watch it by yourself. It doesn't matter. Either way, if you enjoy a good musical, and this is a 2 hour and 22-minute musical. Yeah, for those of you who can't sit still for too long, it's a long haul for a Disney movie. Usually they're not even barely an hour and a half sometimes, but this one goes wall to wall with music. There's a story. It's a very thin plot, troublesome children, a very uptight father figure, and a mother who's secretly going against his rule by fighting for the women's right to vote. Strangely political. I forgot all about that. And to be honest, the last time I watched this movie, I was a little kid, and I have to treat this as if I'd never seen it before, because there's, like, beyond the music, 90% of it I can't remember the details of. So yes, the characters, Bert, played by Dick Van Dyke, is also astounding. The two of them, him and Julie Andrews, it's just a powerhouse of music, singing and dancing, and all of everybody has for the most part, all the main characters have singing parts throughout, but it's Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke that rule this, especially also his dancing. The man's limber. I think I saw just a few months ago, or maybe last year or so, him dancing up a storm, and the man is in his 90s. He's so wiry and agile even now. But by the way, speaking of Dick Van Dyke, while you watch this, I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it already, but look for him in another role in this film. They go through the credits of each of the actors, of all the characters at the end of the film, and when they eventually get to that character, it's kind of great how they reveal the actor behind that character being Dick Van Dyke. So see if you can catch it before they reveal it at the very end. For the most part, though, again, beyond the singing and dancing, the iconic songs, Teaspoon of Sugar, Helps Medicine Go Down, not Bippity Boppity Boo. Yeah, no, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That. There was even one song, and I can't remember the name of the song, but it's all about praising how much we love Mary, how much we love Mary Poppins. And this song seems like it goes on for 20 minutes, but it evolves, it changes, and first it's Bert, then it's like cartoon animals. And that's one of the other big things about this film. It came out in 1964, and it's a mixture of live action and animation that's just beautiful. It flows so nicely together, and tons of different voices adding to the chorus of animals and creatures that sing her praises. And honestly, if you were stoned at all while you watch this thing, it might send you on quite a trip. It's pretty trippy, especially that song when they start going through the park and riding the carousel horses and things like that. So it's pretty intense. It's just hugely enjoyable no matter what. I can't oversell that enough. I know I'm saying it over and over again, but yeah, because you end up with the big finish, Let's Go Fly a Kite, which doesn't feature Mary Poppins singing it, which is surprising, but it's also indicative of the whole storyline battle from Saving Mr. Banks, because the movie is technically about saving Mr. Banks, even though that is not at the forefront. It's almost an afterthought compared to what seems like just song and dance. This movie just goes from one classic hit to the next. I don't see how kids doing High School Musical versions of this back in the day, I don't see how any of them could have done this. I know that they existed. I'm pretty sure my high school might have done it at one point. But to have high school kids have the stamina to jump from one song to the next with barely a pause. I mean, sure, when you're making a film like this, you can shoot, a song, dance, whole routine for a single big number over the period of weeks. And then next week you start on the next song and you shoot it and put it all together. Or maybe you just do it a day. However they did it back in 1964, I don't know. But the idea of doing it for a High School Musical is for 1, 2, 3 nights or whatever. That's a lot to ask some kids, especially when it comes to a movie like this, with the amount of music that's in this. It's pretty extraordinary. So yeah, this is an experience unlike a few others. And oh yeah, by the way, also I talked about the animation, the music, and everything else. The special effects, while creaky looking compared to the modern day, you think about 1964, you think about that era, and this, I kind of envious of the people who watch this for the first time in theaters, because it had to blow their mind of what they were seeing. There's some stuff in here that just was not common in film, that just wasn't done, and it had to be mesmerizing. Sort of like seeing The Wizard of Oz, even so many years earlier. It's innovative. I think so. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of other 1964 films that worked on this level of different, with animation and live action and music and dancing and all the choreography that goes into putting it all together. It's a massive undertaking, and it's a work of art. This is why it's considered one of the most iconic Disney films of all time, and I think you need to see it if you haven't seen it yet. I am regretful that I've wasted so much time putting this off, but hey, thank you to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge and picking it for me and making it the selection. I thought it was, for 2 hours and 22 minutes, I thought it was going to be a slog, and I tried to put it on in the background while I while I did work on another computer monitor. No, I got pulled into the movie way too often. I didn't get much done during that time. So, yeah. I say take some time, watch Mary Poppins on Disney Plus, next chance you get. But until then, it's time to pick tomorrow's choice. 422. 422. What do we got here? What do we got? Oh my. It's a movie. It's a big movie. In fact, it's Piglet's big movie. Yep, Piglet's big movie. Number 422. You see that? Is it blurry? Yeah. 422. Piglet's big movie. We're going back to the 7-acre wood or something. Again, I can never remember what that's called. Tell me what it is and correct me if you see this. Till then, hey, let's hang out with Piglet and the gang in his big movie on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. See you tomorrow. Bye.